You know, I think there's an old proverb that says there is no such thing as a cheap Porsche. And you know, I think I've just found that out, unfortunately. I bought this car a couple months ago, and to be honest, I haven't really been driving it as much as I thought I would. And that's mainly due to how the last owner modified it. It does not instill confidence in you whatsoever. You see, on this car, they put on a set of aftermarket big brakes, a set of, I believe they're Sparta brakes, and that company went bankrupt. You can't necessarily get parts for these brakes anymore. We've machined the rotors twice, and the steering wheel gives you a god-awful vibration whenever you slam on the brakes decently hard. And on top of that, I believe that we have one of the, I guess it's a common but less common problem with these 996 turbos, where the factory harness from the DME going to the brake speed sensor, the speed sensors, deteriorates. And we are now throwing a plethora of fault codes that we need to try and fix today. On top of that, we also need to replace the brakes, replace a MAF sensor, swap out a window regulator. You guys probably won't be able to see all that well. The entire bottom of the window right here is just scratched to all hell from this window regulator never being fixed or repaired from the prior owner. It's been out for a while because you can tell there's deep scratches in the glass in here. So I got a replacement. We'll get that fixed. That's like the easiest of the problems that we got. Back here's where we've got our tasty and delicious MAF sensor that has decided to go bad on us and throw check engine lights because it's an old Porsche and they do that. For the coup de grace, we've got a set of freshly powder coated calipers, all new braking components, brake pads, rotors, seals to rebuild these calipers, the pistons, which I still have to grab, brand new hardware, brand new brake pad shims, new bleeder valves, new Brembo brake hardware for these guys, because when the last owner did whatever he was doing to this poor soul, he decided to toss on a set of, I guess this was a development car for Sparta, and they've got a set of these massive Sparta brakes, but they do not instill braking confidence. They vibrate the steering wheel, and they just do not drive well. They also don't have shims in these, so the entire brake pad makes a clicking noise every single time you're driving it. Now, I've seen a lot of complaints about these wheels. I agree, I don't like these wheels. I've actually already bought a set of replacement wheels. We have a set of BBSs coming straight from Germany to replace these Fiske FM10s on this car, because I, too, am not a huge fan of these. Now, the other thing that kind of ruins the driving characteristic of this car for me are the size of the tires. You see, in the rear we have a set of 335s, and they're too big. See, the problem with the 335s in the rear isn't necessarily grip or traction or anything like that. It's actually the drivability. Having the 335s on the back of this 911 has made it god awful to drive, because anytime you're going above 60, whenever you hit any type of imperfection in the road, it grabs the entire car and it tries to pull it whatever way that imperfection is going. And that's because those tires are just so big that it gets down into whatever that imperfection is, and it kind of like, it's like a train on tracks at that point. The car wants to go wherever the imperfection in the road is, whether it's cracks, bumps, potholes, divots, little like dips in the road, anything like that. And it's been atrocious to drive. It's actually gotten to the point where I've debated selling the 911 Turbo just because of all these little problems, but I don't want it to ruin my first Porsche experience. So what I'm gonna do is fix all the problems, get it sorted, and then reevaluate from there. Now, before we do anything, we are gonna go ahead and scan the car real quick. I did have to buy one of these Duramatic cables. If you have like an Autel or anything like that, that'll work totally fine. But we need a way to be able to get into the ABS, the airbag, all of those controls, and this will allow us to do it. All right. What exactly are we dealing with here? I will say, the Duramatic cable thing was a little bit expensive, but you know, I guess that's the price you gotta pay. There's our fault code. Hot film MAF sensor. For ABS, we have incorrect data transfer with DME control unit. And then it'll also throw a front left wheel speed sensor code as soon as we start moving. So the data transfer's got to be coming from that front left wheel speed sensor. Brakes are gonna have to be on standby until a couple days later. I went to start reassembling our calipers to make sure that we have everything for them, and FCP Euro, the kit that I bought from them, they sent me the wrong size dust covers for these 44mm pistons. They sent me 36mm and 40, and 40 is the smaller of the two that go in these, and then the other one's 44, so I can't really do much. I did make sure that everything else fit, like our new brake pads, our hardware, our brake pad wear sensors, brand new bleeder valves, everything like that on these calipers. Now I went with silver on these. They were originally red, mainly because whoever had the car before me put silver calipers on the rear. So just to keep it all matching, I figured we would just do that. So in the meantime, I do want to jump up and still go in this wheel well and see if I can find any damaged wiring for a wheel speed sensor or anything like that, because we're getting a DME communication error from the front left wheel speed sensor over to the ECM. A brake line or a wheel speed sensor? Why is there tape all over it? Okay, so there's our wheel speed sensor going up to here. That's the brake line. There's freaking Tessa tape all over all of this. My guess is it's a broken wire. This whole freaking wire right here is just Tessa taped up. There's got to be a broken wire in here. I found our DME fault problem. I actually cut our harness coming from the DME out to this wheel. So right here, I've got our harness for the DME, and if you look at it, there's a ton of broken wires on here. And the repair that the prior owner decided to do was just wrap it all up with Tessa tape and hope for the best. So I'm gonna go through real quick, repair this, making a little extension on here. We'll put some DR25 on it to actually protect it and get this thing fixed properly, because I don't know who prior thought that using Tessa tape for an electrical repair, like there was no heat shrink or anything, or wires soldered or butt crimps or anything, just wrapped up with Tessa tape. It just goes to show, like, that's why you get a PPI on stuff. I did not, obviously, and that's my own fault, but I can get it fixed. It's not a huge deal. It's just weird why someone would think that would work. Cut out all of the old wire here. We've got our pigtail here with a repaired harness, so this won't have any issues at all. This is all DR25 Tefzel wiring. This is chemical resistant. It's very durable wire. This is what I make all my engine harnesses out of. So now that we've got a good pigtail here, we can go ahead and get this fixed. That will correct all of our ABS and PSM faults that the car is throwing, which is good. That way, that means no more lights on the dash. Well, I've got it repaired back there, so it shouldn't throw a code anymore. So wheel speed sensor and that harness is all, should be hopefully good to go at this point. So let's go ahead and toss our wheel back on. It'd be pretty sweet not to have any more lights on the dash. Bad. The MAF sensor's not too bad to get to on these. It's right under this intercooler pipe on the intake right down there. It's just, I gotta loosen this, pop this pipe, kind of push it in here, and then that gives me access down to the MAF sensor. So pull out our MAF sensor, we'll put the other one back in, and hopefully that fixes our hot film MAF issue, which is kind of odd. I feel like I'm gonna lose this clip if I do it the clip way. I should just kind of, yeah. Then that guy's gonna go right there. A little bit of oil in there, and then here is our MAF sensor. Put the actual Bosch one in, and hope that fixes our problem. I guess MAF sensors are very sensitive on these cars for some reason, which I say we just delete it and we go speed density. That'll just solve the whole friggin' problem right there, dude. Now I'm hoping after this we can clear all the fault codes, start it up, and not get any fault codes. Engine, fault codes, clear, erase fault codes. Fault codes should be none. So far so good. I'm gonna let it run for a minute. I think we fixed it. give it a quick little test-a-rooney. So far, no lights, which is a good sign. Still gotta do that window regulator, which I'm not exactly looking forward to. I think I'd rather do more wiring than another window regulator, but it's whatevs. I just want this thing fixed, dude. I just want everything good to go. Gucci gang, you know what I mean? I'm not seeing any check engine lights, which is beautiful. Love it. That's what I love to see. No ABS, no PSM lights. Cool. I'm gonna pull it back in the shop, let it idle for another like 5 minutes or so. Then we're gonna jump on this window regulator to get that knocked out. That Durametric cable, whatever you want to call it, saved me so much time by telling me, hey, front left wheel speed sensor not communicating, DME fault. As soon as I saw DME fault, I knew it was like a messed up harness or something along those lines, because typically with a wheel speed sensor fault, it'll just say bad wheel speed sensor, but the fact that it was throwing that DME, it was just, that's what was making it weird, and we kind of narrowed it down to wire harness. So dope. It's good to go. Let's fix that window regulator. Well, the brakes were a letdown for me, and they kind of killed the mood for today, at least for me. I'm really pumped that we no longer have the ABS and PSM lights on the dash. If you're not a Porsche person, the PSM is like traction control, stability control, that kind of stuff. They just call it PSM for Porsche Stability Management. ABS lights are pretty obvious. ABS is ABS, but that broken wire harness was just causing such a ruckus, dude. It was so annoying. I think it was the donut I did a couple donuts in the 911 just for funsies. And well, I guess that kind of did it in. I mean, the harness itself was already cut up and mangled, and somebody had been in there before and they did not do a proper repair job. That's the big thing. Like, if there's something broken, don't do like one of these half-ass repair jobs where you just wrap Tessa tape around it, or like something's broken and you just kind of like make it work for now. Like, it's just gonna come back and you're gonna have to fix it again later. So I'm big hyped on that. Now we can jump over to our window regulator, which I'm not necessarily looking forward to. We gotta take the window out, the door card off. We gotta disconnect the battery because there's an airbag we gotta take out. I am not exactly looking forward to it, but we'll get it knocked out. Now here's our new window regulator. Now the problem that happens with these is the cables tend to get stretched out over time, and when they do, it doesn't allow the window to sit where it needs to, because these ones are the ones where the window will crack down a little bit. When you open the door, it'll crack down a little bit. When you close the door, it'll go back up. And on this one, it doesn't do that. So we got to fix that today. The cables are just a little bit stretched out. So what we're gonna have to do is take off this door card, take the airbag out, take the window out, take the old regulator out, put the new regulator in, align the window, make sure everything works, and be good to go there. So I'm gonna, we'll start off by disconnecting the battery, because the other big thing, and I've seen people do this, is this glass right here will hit this glass here, and then over time it's going to cause damage. Glass on glass will cause damage, so I would like to not cause damage to the car. I don't like playing with airbags when they got power going to them. Now it looks like it's just a whole bunch of random 10s. Here, which just doesn't work. Alright. 1, What are you doing? Stop! Stop it! What the fuck is it doing? What are you doing? Okay. It was doing a thing. I don't know what exactly it was doing, but it was doing something. Why were we going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down? Because the micro switch is unplugged? Like, why were we doing that? I don't know what exactly I did, but I got the door to work. I got the window to work as it should. Not gonna mess with it. I gotta clear out the airbag faults. Oh my God, it doesn't make the crazy noise anymore going down. I feel like it doesn't go down all the way though. It kind of stops right there, which, I mean, whatever. Dope. We're gonna go 996. We're gonna go there. K21. MEZ8 for 01 to 05 Turbo GTs. Cable is, oh, the cable's not plugged in, that's why. Ignition circuit, side airbag, passenger, erase fault codes. Are you sure? Yes. No fault codes found. All right, let's try to start you up. Shouldn't be any fault codes, and there's none. I'm gonna let it run for a minute, so let me go open the door, so that way, since I reset the battery, kind of want to let it just do its thing. Oh yeah, she smells a little rich. So we've replaced the regulator, we fixed the check engine light, the ABS and the PCM lights. All that's left to do is to put the factory brakes back on the front. So it's actually the next evening. I haven't really ripped on the Porsche yet. I want to go out and just make sure everything works as it should. I did get the brakes all like temporarily reassembled. They look good. We'll do that in a separate video. I'm not going to stress it. The seals that I ordered are about a week and a half out, so I'm guessing they're coming directly from Brembo's, but I've been knocking out some stuff on the RX-7. You guys will get some stuff on that here soon. Been doing like all the underbody stripping, which my lord, that has been terrible. So let's go rip around in the Porsche a little bit. I haven't actually like gotten to drive it hard in quite a while. Still a little cold, so we'll take it easy for a minute. With this car, I don't really let it sit and warm up. I've always tended to like drive it a little bit and warm it up that way. I read a couple articles because the way that the engine's set up and how the cylinders are actually made, you're not supposed to just let them idle long term, or at least like even during warm-up phases, I guess I should say. So I've normally just driven it until it warms up. I did that yesterday too. That one actually wasn't too bad. Alright, so far, still no lights, which I'm about. I'm about the no light life. I don't want any lights. I don't feel like none of us want lights on our dash. That, I'm blaming that Mini Cooper. You don't want it! I'm not doing it, but you don't want it. I ain't racing him. Thing sounds good, dude.
You wanna go with the light?
Nah, I ain't running it in traffic. I've been pulled over for that before. I ain't doing that shit again.
That's why you gotta run from him.
Yeah.
Look, listen, whoever loses gets pulled over. I just keep going.
Loser gets the ticket.
Yeah, you feel that?
No, I feel it. No, I don't run in traffic. I've been there before. I fucking too many tickets in the past.
Is that an S?
No, just put basic turbo, tuned, some bolt-ons. Not bad. Appreciate it, man. Thing sounds good. He was cool. I like that guy. I'm surprised the Mustang didn't go after him. Normally it's domestic on domestic with that stuff. I'm glad the turbo gets a little bit of respect. Is he gonna do something crazy right here for us? Is he gonna do something crazy? I have a feeling we're gonna witness some crazy shit happen. Watch him just drift the whole intersection. Oh, did he? No. I thought he did and I missed it. God, dude, this car just feels like it wants to fucking kill you. So that's all I got for you guys on this one. I'm just glad that the 911 is cooperating once again. Once those new wheels come in, we'll get some tires ordered. I got some BBS CHRs. They're more affordable, I guess I should say, Porsche wheel. Anything that's like 5x130 is ridiculously expensive for some reason. We'll get some tires ordered once those wheels actually ship out. I think they're actually made to order, which is kind of annoying, but it's whatever. I think I ordered them about a month ago. And then once those dust covers come in for the brakes, we can get the new brakes on there. And then at that point, I think I'm just gonna leave it alone for a little bit unless more problems come up. But I'm not anticipating any more for that. After that, all of the little issues on the car should be fixed and solid. So with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn your black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver sight, and whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, I'll put in one of these corners. No idea which one quite yet. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.